What's up everybody, Lynx Ambassador Colton Sturm here, and today I'm going to talk about suspension. Now, I'm not diving into the whole thing, okay? I'm just going into sag and rebound. I've seen sag as a very big topic online. Lynx suggests 3.75 inches of sag. That's what I run. I never change it. As far as rebound goes, I might change it just a click or two every now and then. But I've seen a lot of conversations online about why so much sag. People have started to run less sag, and hey, I'm going to tell you right now, if you like that setup with less sag, sweet, awesome. It's your sled, you have to enjoy it. I'm not telling you how to set up your sled. This is just a simple description of two different setups when you're dealing with rebound and sag in the rear end. I've seen a few setups online about taking sag away, running 2 inches of sag, 2.5 inches, 2 1/4. I did 2.5 inches of sag versus 3.75 inches of sag. Now this first video you're going to see is 3.75 inches of sag with both shocks at a rebound of 6. The second video is 2.5 inches of sag with both rebounds at 10. So I wanted to put them next to each other. They're both on the exact same location, or in the same location I should say. Same speed. I was going 45 miles an hour. Now I know that's not crazy fast, and I've hit it faster, I've hit it slower. This is just a baseline, that's all this is. Just to give you an easy view of how the two machines handle. They were both on this machine. This machine has 700 miles on it. I tried to attack the bumps in the exact same attitude, same riding style. So let's dive right in. In this first video, my sag is set at 3.75 inches and the rebound is at 6. Now it's good to note that when you set your sag up, set it up with all your riding gear and any accessories you may ride on the tunnel, or ride with on the tunnel. You can tell that the sled wants to be a little bit more nose high. Me personally, I like that. That's the way I've always raced. That's the way I've always ridden. I like that. You can tell going through the whoops here, these bumps, that the sled is riding pretty level. Now you can see the running boards hit the snow. I never one time felt a jar or a very aggressive bottom out in my feet. I am using all the suspension though, which is good. You want to use all your suspension in situations like this. The sled wants to stay level going through it. It's not kicking around up or down. The one time it did kick down, the rear end came up, was when I set the skis on the back side of a roller. That I could have maybe, no matter what, you're going to kind of get that when you set your sled into that kind of a position, but it wasn't out of control and I never really noticed it being out of control. In the second video, I'm running 2.5 inches of sag with both shocks set at a rebound of 10. I saw this setup online and I decided to give it a go and put it next to the other setup. Now you can tell when I come off the setup roller, the sled flies a little bit more level, if not a little bit more nose down. I personally don't like that unless I purposely make my sled go nose down. I don't like the sled wanting to go nose down. And then through the rollers, you can tell my running boards are still hitting the snow. I did not bottom this one out. I did not feel any hard jars in my feet. I was using all the travel though, which is, again, good to do. But you can tell that the rear end wants to come up. The bumper definitely in the rear end wants to be above the bumper in the front. You can also tell that the track is off the ground a lot more versus the 3.75 inches of sag. Now if your track's off the ground, you're not putting power to the ground and you're not moving forward. I could ride this setup. I would have to change my body style a little bit where I'm positioned on the sled, but you can definitely tell the sled is giving me a lot more feedback in this video compared to the first video. Like I said, if this is a setup you run and you love it, sweet, do it, run it. It's your sled. You have to enjoy the ride. I'm not here to tell you how to set up your sled. I'm merely here to show you a couple things I have found and show you an easy visual of them side by side. Another thing I do suggest is after around 2,000 miles or 2,500 miles, it's a good idea to get your shocks redone. These shocks don't last forever. Nothing lasts forever, especially a piece like, you know, like the shock. I mean, the thing's getting the crap beat out of it all the time. One way I was taught to kind of feel if your shock is, you know, starting to lose pressure or go bad is in the clickers. If you don't hear a good click, or you don't feel a good click, if the clicks are getting to be soft, that means your shock has lost pressure. I normally notice it around that 2,000 to 2,500 miles. And that is a good indicator that it's time to have your shocks redone. And that just sets them right back to brand new. Everybody likes brand new, right? So these are just two side-by-side comparisons of the recommended 3.75 inches of sag and a 2.5 inch sag. Now I understand, you know, not everybody's built the same, not everybody's the same size. If you are bigger and you're finding that 3.75 inches of sag is horrible on a new setup, like, you know, 0 miles, we're out of the box here, and you know, you've played with other recommended, you know, clicks on high, low speed and rebound, then you might need a little bit, you might need to spring up a little bit. If you're really lightweight, maybe spring down. These sleds over in Finland, I mean, they handle their trails really well. Their trails are not groomed, their trails are rough. Their trails, I'm going to be honest, probably make ours look pretty tame. So these guys have tested this for a while. This isn't something new. They've ran this setup for a while in some pretty extreme conditions. So I take that all into, you know, it's I personally love that 3.75 inches of sag. Just because your sled is sagging doesn't mean you lost that suspension. That suspension comes right back. It's like a trophy truck. You know, they sag way out, but then when they're in the air, you can tell that there's a lot of suspension there. I know this, again, is not a trophy truck. This is a snowmobile. But there's an easy visual and description of sag and rebound side by side. You know, take what you want from this, take nothing. If you don't like it, take nothing. Below, though, I will have a link to Janne Tapio's video on how to set up your suspension and what they recommend. He goes way more in depth than I do. Again, I'm just talking about sag and rebound. That is it. You can tell that the machine does handle totally different with those two setups. So I hope this helped you guys. If not, I apologize. But yeah, set your sled up how you want it set up. I highly recommend to stay with that 3.75 inches of sag. If you don't like that, change it. That's up to you guys. You know, this is your ride. You need to enjoy it. So in the meantime, let's keep doing our snow dance. We still got good snow up here in the Midwest. I know up north, it's in Minnesota, it's good. The UP obviously is just beautiful. So we should have quite a bit more time left of the season, hopefully. So get out there, enjoy the ride, keep, you know, rubber side down, skis down, you know. We don't need to be wrecking these things or rolling them. Try to anyways. But yeah, enjoy the ride out there, and hopefully I'll see you guys out there on the trail.